Shalom, kings and queens, my brothers and my sisters. It's nice to see y'all again. Didn't go live, but I am going live again. And we're gonna start this off just a little bit different today. We're gonna bring forth some prayer and some praise and some worship. It's gonna be a little bit different today. So y'all just bear with me. Trying to get my tapper going. Just bear with a brother. Supposed to be ready, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see if I send that joint to my brothers. There we go. I'm gonna read this Psalms 35 out loud, and then I'm gonna read this prayer of authority out loud as well. So y'all just bear with a brother. Here we go. Psalms 35. And this is to anybody that's trying to come into this live, that's trying to bring utter confusion, that's trying to come into my life, into my wife's life, into my children's life, into your people's life, Father. Not just mine, but all your people's life. Because we know that the enemy is coming our way, trying to shut us down, trying to shut down what we do, what you called us to do. But I say no. You said no. Keep on speaking to my people. Keep on decreeing and declaring my word. This ain't for likes. This ain't for views. This is to wake up your people to who you truly are and what you called your sons and your daughters to do. Plead my cause, O Lord Adonai, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me, that fight against us. Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for our help. Draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me, that persecute us. Say unto our souls, I am your salvation. And let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after our souls. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise our hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Most High chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Most High persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me and us their net in a pit, which without cause have they digged for our souls. Let destruction come upon them at unawares, and let them that net that they have catch themselves into that very destruction, and let them fall. And our soul shall be joyful in the Most High, and it shall rejoice in your salvation and your deliverance, Father. All our bones shall say, the Most High, who is like unto you, which delivers the poor from them that are too strong for them. Yes, the poor and the needy from them that spoil them. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to our charge things we knew not. They rewarded us evil for the good, to the spoiling of our soul. But as for us, when they were sick, our clothing was sackcloth. We humbled our soul with fasting, and our prayer returned into our own bosom. We behaved ourselves as though we had been a friend or a brother to them. We bowed down heavily at one that mourns for their mother. But in our adversity, Father, they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yes, the abjects gathered themselves together against us, and we knew it not. They did tear us and seized not. With hypocritical mockers and feasts, they gnashed upon us with their teeth. The Most High, Father, how long will you look on? Rescue our soul from their destructions and our darlings from the lions. We will give you thanks in the great congregation, and we will praise you among much people. Let not them that are enemies wrongfully rejoice over us, neither let them wink with an eye that hates us without a cause. For they speak not peace, Father, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Us that are quiet in the land, Father. Yes, they opened their mouth wide against us, and they said, aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. And this you have seen, O Father. Keep not silence, O Father. Be not far from us. Stir up to ourselves and awake to our judgment, even to our cause. Our Father and our Most High, Adonai, judge us, O Lord, our Father, our God, to the righteousness, and let them not rejoice over us. Let them not say in their hearts, ah, so would we have it. And let them not say, we have swallowed them up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at our hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against us, your chosen sons and your chosen daughters. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor our righteous cause. And let them say continually, may the Most High be magnified, which has prosperity in the pleasure of his servants. And our tongue and our mouth shall speak your righteousness and your praise all day long. Amen. So be it and come. Give praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Now I'm going to read this from my Keys to the Kingdom. This prayer of authority. Because I'm sick and tired of these demons and these witches and warlocks coming up in here. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the power of his blood and the authority of his word, give it to me, give it to us as born again believers, sons and daughters, standers on your word, upholders of your word. I bind and reject you, Satan, and your forces, and I command that you leave this territory, leave this live. And I seal this room, house, and all members of my family, relatives, and possessions in the blood of our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach. We bind and reject all familiar spirits, all companion spirits, all cardinal spirits, all spirits of applications. And we bind and reject all spirits of confusion, disruption, division, fear, lust, disbelief, disobedience, playing games, deaf and dumbness, mind control, and all aspects and attributes of these spirits. We bind all evil interlocking spirits, and we command that there will be no communication between you or anyone else, and we command that you leave quietly. In the name of our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, we break and dissolve every curse, every spell, every hex, every evil wish, evil desire, hereditary seal, and we come against all the satanic vows, pacts, sacrifices, voodoo practices, and we break and dissolve all links with psychics, clairvoyants, astrologers, mediums, occult seers, satanic cults, fortune tellers, seances, Ouija boards, tarot cards, occult games of all kinds. Come on in, Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh. Fill this room, house, corner to corner, ceiling to floor with your presence, even in this live and other people's households right now. Fill their houses. And Father, we asking that you will release your angels, them fighting angels that you have for us, those warring angels, Michael, Gabriel, and all the holy angels that you sent on an assignment to fight the battles for me, for us, for your chosen children, for Yasharal, for Israel. And we ask, Father, that you will release your forces, your power, through your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, our Lord, our Savior, our Master. And we thank you, Father, in your Son's name, Yahushua HaMashiach, by the power of his blood and the authority of his word. Give it to us as born-again believers, born-again sons and daughters of you, sons and daughters that are woke up to serve you, to acknowledge you, to follow the laws, the statutes, and the commands of you, Father. We say together, amen. So be it and come. I need some music. What we got? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. All praises. All praises. I got a song for y'all, but you know they won't allow me to play these songs because they'll say copyright. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it on the low, and y'all gonna hear me over the music. Cool. So I'm gonna play my brother Hezekiah. Y'all know I like me some Hezekiah. That's my brother, boy. So I'm gonna play that joint. Give me 1 second. Got you. 1 second. Uh-oh, here we go. This one is called Satan. Hey, yo, Rant, turn that up. Now learn how to plead the blood of your whole body. Stay in the spirit. Satan can use you if you let him. I see your trickery. We at the end. Ain't none of that get confessing my sins. I'm watching my enemies, Christing my head. They hit me like candy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me, Walk in the spirit, so that mean no killing me. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end. Can't none of that get you. Confessing my sins. I'm watching my enemies. Christing my head. They hit me like kidney. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean no killing me. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Even though Alliance is the younger was a child, having shooting gun, popping pills, smoking loud. I'm the main event, but I've been following the crowd. Wish I would have known what I know right now. Mama ain't raised like this. Had her yelling in the house like, where in the hell we go wrong? Mama, them curses could leave us alone. We made an oath to the one on the throne. The angels with us was never alone. Mercy and grace coming straight from the throne. Abba now had to give me a loan. He had to open my eyes. I had to put down my pride. Boy, I'm so let him lie. We gon' follow the Messiah. We gon' follow the Messiah. What's up? I'm elect. A button. What's up? Messiah. Messiah. Woo. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end. Can't none of that get you. Confessing my sins. I'm watching my enemies. Christing my head. They hit me like kidney. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean no killing. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end. Can't none of that get you. Confessing my sins. I'm watching my enemies. Christing my head. They hit me like kidney. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean no killing. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling. Get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Sometimes you got to praise your way through it, man, no matter what it is. And I got to tell y'all, get thee behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You ain't going to stop me. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end. That's why they come into these lives and they trying to shut a brother down. They trying to shut my live down. They flagging my lives down. They muting stuff. They trying to shadow ban me. They're doing everything to try to come up against me. But you know what? I'm going to praise to the Most High because I must be doing something right. I must be doing something right because the enemy is mad. Every time we open up a book, somebody come in here and they want to shut something down. We can't even get through the book without people coming in here and want to talk about Egyptology. We can't even get through the book without somebody coming in here and trying to say they somebody in the book. Or you shouldn't be reading the whole book. You all need to stay in the Torah. Stay in the first 5 books. They don't want you to read the whole thing. They don't even want you to look into the hidden books. Everybody wants you to fall into something else, serving a whole nother God. But here we are, waking Israel up to the truth. And they mad about it. They mad because they can't stop me. Because the Most High sent me. He ain't sent you. I know who sent you. It's the enemy. And that's why you can't win. That's why you can't shut a brother down. That's why you can't shut my lives down. Because it's all for the Most High. This ain't me. I ain't finna boast about me. This is all praise and honor goes to the Most High. Forget me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just here to wake the people up to the truth. Let's get into this word. Let's get into this word. Shalom, shalom. If y'all don't mind tapping that screen, sharing a good old live, repost it if you can. I don't be asking y'all for no gifts because I ain't like that. But if y'all want to bless a brother, that's cool. But we finna get into this book of Jasher. Anybody know about the book of Jasher? Abraham kinfolk, bring it out. Bring it out. I got you. I gotta get my my taps up. I ain't got my tapper. Hold on. I gotta grab this book. The last chapter I stopped in was chapter, I want to say it was either 7 or 8. I don't even know if y'all can still hear me. Yeah, man, y'all. When you bringing out this truth, the enemy don't like it. The enemy don't want us bringing out no truth. He don't want us to wake the people up. The devil and them. When I say the enemy, y'all know who I'm talking about. Them people. They don't want us to wake up. They want us to stay stuck in bondage. They don't want us to come out of that. They want us to stay stuck in slavery and serving them. Y'all hold on, I'm trying to get my stuff right. It should have been together, but I guess I forgot to turn it back on. Well, for them little rascals, nothing will be turned off. But it's all good. It ain't that hard to turn on. Y'all tap the screen if y'all don't mind, please. I got y'all. Just bear with me. All right, there we go. Try another browser. Already trying to flag some stuff. What the heck is going on? Which one did you do? Okay, whatever. It's always something. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting with y'all. Just give me 1 second. Stuff is not working accordingly. Oh well. I guess I don't need it today. I won't use it. Okay. That's all good. The book of Jasher. In the last chapter we stopped in. Get back over there. Nope, I already got past that. Okay, the book of Jasher, chapter 12. Shalom, chapter 12. And when the king heard the words of Abram, he ordered him to be put into prison. And Abram was 10 days in prison. And at the end of those days, the king ordered all the kings, princes, and governors of different provinces and the sages should come before him. And they sat before him, and Abram was still in the house of confinement. He was still in prison. And the king said to the princes and sages, have you heard what Abram, the son of Terah, has done to his father? Thus has he done to him. And I ordered him to be brought before me, and thus he has spoken. His heart did not misgive him, neither did he stir in my presence. And behold, now he is confined in prison. And therefore decide what judgment is due to this man who reviled the king, who spoke and did all the things that you heard. And they all answered the king, saying, the man who reviles the king should be hanged upon a tree. But having done all the things that he said, and having despised our gods, he must therefore be burned to death. For this is the law in this matter. So they want to take Abram out, just like they want to take us out. They want to lock you up. They want to throw away the key when you're bringing out the truth, or when you're telling people to turn away from the false gods. When you start telling your family, you've been following some false gods. You've been into idolatry. You've been doing the wrong thing. Now they make you a a martyr, pretty much. Verse 6, if it please the king to do this, let him order his servants to kindle a fire both night and day in thy brick furnace, and then we will cast this man into it. And the king did so. So he commanded his servants that they should prepare a fire for 3 days and 3 nights in the king's furnace, that is in Casdim. And the king ordered them to take Abram from prison and bring him out to be burned. Shalom. And all the king's servants, hey, if you don't mind, man, you can come up or you can tap the screen, repost to share the live. And all the king's servants, princes, lords, governors, and judges, and all the inhabitants of the land, about 900,000 men, stood opposite the furnace to see Abram. And all the women and little ones crowned upon the roofs and towers to see what was doing with Abram. And they all stood together at a distance, and there was not a man left that did not come on that day to behold the scene. They was watching what's going on. Ain't that like what they be doing in the movies that we be watching when they getting ready to flag somebody, they get ready to whip somebody? What they do? Everybody come to watch to see what's going on. And when Abram was come, the conjurers of the king and the sages saw Abram, and they cried out to the king, saying, our sovereign Lord, or Adonai, surely this is the man whom we know to have been the child at whose birth the great star swallowed the 4 stars, which we declared to the king now 50 years. Let me highlight that joint. I'm just going to circle it. I ain't going to highlight the other thing. I'm going to circle it. And behold, now his father has also transgressed thy commands, and mocked thee by bringing thee another child, which thou did unalive. Do y'all know this story about how Terah brought another child to them because they wanted to take out Abram because of what they saw the stars do the day that he was born? I'm going to read it again. And when Abram was come, the conjurers of the king and the sages saw Abram, and they cried out to the king, saying, our sovereign Lord, surely this is the man whom we know to have been the child at whose birth the great star swallowed the 4 stars, which were declared to the king now 50 years. And behold, now his father has also transgressed your commands, and mocked thee by bringing thee another child, and thou didst unalive that child. And when the king heard their words, he was exceedingly wroth, and he ordered Terah to be brought before him. And the king said, hast thou heard what the conjurers have spoken? Now tell me truly, how didst thou? And if thou shalt speak truth, thou shalt be acquitted. Speak the truth, or forever hold your peace. Shalom, everyone. And seeing that the king's anger was so much kindled, Terah said to the king, my lord and king, thou hast heard the truth, and what the sages have spoken is right. And the king said, how couldst thou do this thing, to transgress my orders, and to give me a child that thou didst not beget, and to take value for him? Y'all remember what he said to him the first time? How am I going to give you my child to let you unalive my child to where I can't carry on? My child can't carry on my inheritance. That's like somebody coming to ask to buy something from me, and you sitting up here saying, I gave you a great horse. Why would you sell it to them for some small pieces of silver? This is what the king said to him at the time. And he said, that's the same thing I'm telling you. Why would I give you my son for some small pieces of silver, for some money, just so you can unalive him? That's the same thing today. Why would we give our sons and our daughters to these people just for some money, some fortune, and some fame, just so they can pretty much unalive them, so they can use them the way that they want to use them? All praises. And Terah answered the king, because my tender feelings were excited for my son. At the time, I took a son of my handmaid, and I brought him to the king. And the king said, who advised thee to this? Tell me, do not hide aught from me, then thou shalt not be unalived. What did Terah say to him? He said, because my feelings, my tender feelings, let me rephrase that. My tender feelings were excited for my own son. When your feelings is for your own child, you ain't trying to pass them on to somebody else so they can use your child or unalive your child to do wrong. That's what this industry be asking us to do for our children. All right, let me get your child. Let me have your son. Let me have your daughter. Here, I'll give you the money. Sign this contract. I got you. But if you love your child, for real love your child, you won't allow them to pass through the fire. You won't allow them to go with some strange folks that will want to do something strange for a little piece of change for them. You won't allow them to unalive your child just to get ahead in life. You won't allow that stuff to happen. You won't allow them to unalive your family if you really love them. Because if you do, then that means you love money. You love another God more than you love your own, the Most High's children. But this is what he said. And Terah, greatly terrified in the king's presence, he said to the king, it was Haran, my eldest son, who advised me to this. And Haran was in those days that Abram was born, 32 years old. But Haran did not advise his father to anything. For Terah said this thing to the king in order to deliver his soul from the king, for he feared greatly. And the king said to Terah, Haran, thy son who advised thee to this shall unalive through fire with Abram. For the sentence of death is upon him for having rebelled against the king's desire and doing this thing. So what did Terah just do? He lied on his son. Instead of taking accountability, he threw it on his son. His son didn't say a jackdog thing. His son didn't tell him to take another child and use that child. What really happened is Terah went to his wife and his family, and they was like, look, we can't allow Abram to be taken out. We got to go to one of the handmaids and allow one of the handmaids' babies to be taken out. And we'll just fake this thing. This is what they came up with. Took somebody else's child. And Haran at the time felt inclined to follow the ways of Abram, but he kept it within himself. And Haran said in his heart, behold, now the king has seized Abram on account of these things which Abram did. And it shall come to pass that if Abram prevail over the king, I will follow him. But if the king prevail, I will go after the king. So Haran is in his heart. He's thinking in his mind like something just hit him like, should I follow Abram, who's coming up against the king, who's telling us to do the right thing? Or should I follow the king in his footsteps? Which one should I follow? That's some of us today. That's like what's going on in some of our households. Should I follow my mama? Should I follow my daddy? Should I listen to them? Or should I listen to the ones that got more money than them? The ones that's more popular than them? That's what our children do. Y'all tap the screen, man. Share the live. Tap this screen. I need this to be on the For You page. I need this to be a highlight so I can go back and make this a clip. Tap the screen, share the live, repost it. And they brought them both, Abram and Haran, his brother, to cast them into the fire. And all the inhabitants of the land and the king's servants and princes and all the women and the little ones were there standing that day over them. It's way more of us than it is of them. But people sitting back watching your own brother, your own son, your own people finna get slaughtered by a small group of people. Get thrown into a fire. What happened to standing up? What happened to running up and doing what's right? Why don't we do that? Because we too busy listening to the king. We too busy afraid of the king. We too busy afraid of the king's gestures that's around him. We too busy afraid of the soldiers sitting around him. Man, it's millions of us. What can they do to us? We don't die, we multiply. Shalom, shalom. And the king's servants took Abram and his brother, and they stripped them of all their clothes, excepting their lower garments, which were upon them. And they bound their hands and feet with linen cords. And the servants of the king lifted them up and cast them both into the furnace. And the Lord loved Abram and he had compassion over him. And the Lord came down and delivered Abram from the fire, and he was not burned. But all the cords which they bound him were burned, while Abram remained and walked about in the fire. And Haran had unalived passed away when they had cast him into the fire. And he was burned to ashes, for his heart was not perfect with the Lord. And those men who cast him into the fire, the flame of the fire spread over them, and they were burned. And 12 men of them had unalived right before them. So the Most High, he took his son. He took the one who served him. If y'all ain't learning something from this lesson, if you want to come out of the fire, if you don't want to get burned, then you need to be following the laws, the statutes, and the commands of the Most High. Because when they try to take you up and lock you up and throw you in chains, the Most High is like, you ain't going to do nothing to my sons and daughters that's following me. I'm going to take them out of captivity. I'm going to take them out the fire. The rope's going to be burned. The chains and everything going to fall off. But anybody who is not of me that's in there with them, they going to burn. And anybody that threw them in the fire, you going to burn right along with them. That's what we could take from this lesson. And also what you could take from this lesson is, you remember where it talks about Abraham's bosom? Abraham's bosom in the fire. How you sitting there and you in Abraham's bosom? Either you in the weeping of the gnashing of teeth over there with them suckers, or you over here in Abraham's bosom in safety. But ain't nobody went to no heaven. Everybody in the grave. Abraham's bosom. Let me get back to this. Y'all getting anything? Tap the screen, share the live. Thank you for the repost. I appreciate y'all. Shalom, shalom. And Abram walked in the midst of the fire 3 days and 3 nights, and all the servants of the king saw him walking in the fire. And they came and told the king, saying, Behold, we have seen Abram walking about in the midst of the fire, and even the lower garments which are upon him are not burned, but the cord with which he was bound is burned. He's free to walk around in the fire. That's because you got the whole anointing of the Most High all over you. Touch not my anointing and do my prophets no harm. I'm going to show you who's mine, and I'm going to show you who not mine, who really follow me and who don't follow me. That's what the Most High is saying. And when the king heard the words, his heart fainted, and he would not believe them. So he sent other faithful princes to see this matter. And they went and saw it and told it to the king. And the king rose to go and see it. And he saw Abram walking to and fro in the midst of the fire. And he saw Haran's body burned, and the king wondered greatly. He didn't believe it. He had to go see it for himself. Are you serious? He's walking around in the fire. The ropes that we bound him with, they are long gone. And the one that we threw him in the fire with as well, his own brother, he's burned alive. He ain't even there. He ain't walking around with him. Why? That's what they say about us. How are they still teaching and preaching the word? Are you serious? I took everything from them. That's how the enemy be. I took everything from them. I took his family from him. I took his wife from him, or his ex-wife from him. I took his children from him. I took his house from him. I took his car from him. I took his job from him. And he's still praising the Most High. He's still giving honor and glory. He's still teaching the word. Why? And I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about y'all. I took his mama and his daddy from him. I took his granny and his grandpa from him. I took all his family away from him. He don't even care. Why? The Father says, because he loves me. He loves me. He serves me. He don't serve man. He's going to tell the people about me. He's going to wake the people up to who I am. And the king ordered Abram to be taken out of the fire. And his servants approached to take him out, and they could not, for the fire was round about, and the flame ascending toward them from the furnace. They couldn't even touch him. They couldn't even go and get him. Because if they would have touched him or tried to come, well, even got that close to him, that fire would have consumed them. Touch not my anointed. Do my prophets no harm. Touch not my children. Touch not my anointed children, and do my anointed prophets no harm. Verse 30. And the king's servants fled from it, and the king rebuked them, saying, Make haste and bring Abram out of the fire, that you shall not be unalive. And the servants of the king again approached to bring Abram out. And the flames came upon them, and they burned their faces, so that 8 of them passed away. They still try to go up against, they still try to do it. This is how much, y'all, that they feared this king. They went and did what they knew they shouldn't have done just because they feared that the king could take them out. What does the word say? Fear the Most High. Don't fear man. Fear the Most High. Reverence the Most High. Acknowledge the Most High rather than acknowledging man. Play with fire, you might get burned. You play with the Most High, you might get burned. Shalom, Aboriginal. Thank you for coming in, sis. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for tapping the screen, using y'all tappers, reposting. We in the book of Jasher. They ain't gonna stop me no more. We in the book of Jasher, but I need some water. Hold on. The enemy get mad when you start bringing out that truth. When you start telling them the word, they ain't trying to hear that. We can't listen to nothing. But the Most High says, I got you. Don't worry about a jackdog thing. Where was I? Oh, verse 32. And when the king saw that his servants could not approach the fire, lest they should be burned, the king called to Abram, O servant of the Most High God, who is in heaven, go forth from the midst, amidst the fire, and come hither before me. And Abram hearkened to the voice of the king, and he went forth from the fire and came and stood before the king. He heard the voice. He was like, look, I'm about to show you better than I can tell you. The Most High is with me. You're going to respect me. You're going to respect the Most High. Here we go. Verse 33. And when Abram came out, the king and all his servants saw Abram coming before the king with his lower garments upon him, for they were not burned, but the cord with which he was bound was burned. So what wasn't burned, y'all? His loins. Because that's all that they left him with. They took all his clothes, but he still had on them drawers or their burlap. I'm turning the tapper on for you, big bro, while I'm cooking. Okay, all praises. All praise to the Most High. Thank you. I appreciate you. All praises. Hallelujah. And the king said to Abram, how is it that thou was not burned in the fire? The king says, hey, how is it that you ain't burned in that fire? See, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego wasn't the ones that was first thrown into the fire. But when you get into the book of Jasher, I'm not telling y'all that the King James Version is a lie. What I'm telling y'all is there's details that has been taken out that Joshua chapter 10 verse 13 tells you about the book of Jasher, and then you got to go open the book of Jasher and read about things that you don't know nothing about. So it just, it expands your mind. It gives you the details that you don't know nothing about. Why Abram or Abraham was so glorious to the Most High, and why he made this promise with him, why it was Abraham. Verse 35, and Abram said to the king, the Most High God of heaven and earth, in whom I trust, and who has all in his power, he delivered me from the fire into which thou didst cast me. See, the Most High, when you really for him, when you really stepping for him, when you love him, when you reverence him, when you acknowledge him, Shalom, Cookie, I see you in here. It's the Most High don't play about you. He'll keep you safe from everything because he knows it all, sees it all. He knows what's going to go down before you know what's going to go down. He going to protect us from it all. But if you love him, keep his what? Commandments. Keep his commandments. Verse 36. And Haran, the brother of Abram, was burned to ashes, and they sought for his body, and they found it consumed. And Haran was 82 years old when he unalived in the fire of Casdim. And the king, princes, and inhabitants of the land, seeing that Abram was delivered from the fire, they came and bowed down to Abram. Just like the scripture said that they would, that he would take over, that Abram was going to take over. The king was going to be no more. Just like Pharaoh and them. They had to acknowledge Joseph. You know who they're acknowledging? They're acknowledging Israel, Hebrews. They're saying, you are the ones that need to be in charge. You are the ones that the Most High don't play about. All praises. Verse 38. And Abram said to them, do not bow down to me, but bow down to the Most High God of the world who made you, and serve him and go in his ways, for it is he who delivered me from out of this fire, and it is he who created the souls and spirits of all men, not some, but of all men, and have formed man in his mother's womb and brought him forth into the world, and it is he who delivered those who trust in him from all pain. Stop trusting in man. Stop trusting in man. Stop trusting in the pharmaceuticals. Stop trusting in the doctors. Stop trusting in lawyers. Trust in the Most High who can get you out of it, who can rescue you from it. They gonna tell you to take medication. They gonna put you on all type of stuff. But the Most High says, I will deliver you from all of it. All you got to do is follow me. All you got to do is believe in me. All you got to do is serve in me and watch me fix you up. It's the Most High. Put your trust in Most High, in the Most High, in Adonai, in Elohim, in Yahuwah. We got to get back to putting our trust in the Most High. Stop putting your trust in man. Stop putting your trust in mankind. That means woman too. Stop putting your trust in these fools and these ignorant suckers that's out here telling you to do strange things to try to help you get $1, to try to help you get ahead in life. They ain't doing nothing. They got you serving another God. They know that you ignorant and you stupid and you's a fool. They know you still sleep while you think that you woke. "39. And this thing seemed very wonderful in the eyes of the king and princes, that Abram was saved from the fire, and that Haran was burned. And the king gave Abram many presents, and he gave him 2 head servants from the king's house. The name of one was Oni, and the name of the other was Elizar." Look what happens when you serve the Most High. You get blessed. You don't get stressed. You get favor from the Most High and favor with man. What did he just give him? I'm going to read it one more time. And the king gave Abram many presents, and he gave him 2 head servants from the king's house, and the name of one was Oni, and the name of the other was Elizar. He just gave Abram some service. That means Abram is the head of something. You got service, that means they going to serve you. They going to do whatever you tell them to do. And he gave you some presents, some gifts. Because what do? I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. Now you're trying to get blessed. Look, y'all, hey, we ain't trying to be cursed like that. We ain't trying to come up against the Most High. Them, no. Now we see that he don't play about them. Hey, give them some blessings. Don't bring no curses upon us. Save us too. And all the kings and princes and servants gave Abram many gifts of silver and gold and pearl, and the king and all his princes sent him away, and he went in peace. All the kings, look, all the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty together again. Look, but all the king's princes and all the servants gave Abram, they gave him gifts of silver and of gold. They gave him riches. And the king and princes sent him away in peace. We going to bless this man. Give him gold and silver. Give him some servants. Give him whatever he needs and then send his tail away. We know the Most High don't play bars. And Abram went forth from the king in peace, and many of the king's servants followed him, and about 300 men joined him. About 300 men joined him. They followed him. Man, we would rather follow Abram than follow this crazy king over here. Don't y'all know that's how they gonna do with us? We would rather follow knowledge. We would rather follow Aboriginal. We would rather follow the Most High, which that's me, but still, real. We would rather follow y'all than to follow these ignorant folks that's been leading us astray. Those that's really teaching the truth. Those that's living this thing where we can see that it's nothing but the Most High that got you covered. It's nothing but the Most High that sent you this way. We want to bless you. We want to give you silver and gold. We want to give you presents. We want to give you servants. We want to put you in charge. Shalom. And Abram returned on that day and went to his father's house, he and the men that followed him. And Abram served the Most High all the days of his life and walked in the ways and followed his law. So what y'all think we supposed to do? Walk in the ways of the Most High and follow his law. If you ain't following his laws, his statutes, his commands, if you ain't following the Most High, if you saying that you following God, but you're not following his laws and commands, you are following a false God. You are following somebody that's leading you astray. If anybody that you following, Danny P, Bishop Brooks, any of them that's on these lives, if they not telling you to follow the laws, the statutes, and commands, they sending you to Sheol. They sending you to hell. While you tapping their screen, making sure they live is popping. The Most High is watching. And he see that they don't know the word in its totality. They only giving you what they think they know. It's time to stop playing with it. It's time to stop playing with the Most High. It's time to stop playing on the Most High's top. Oh, I believe in Jesus. I believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. I believe in Yahushua HaMashiach. But why y'all teaching following the laws? Because this is the time right now. You're being warned right now to come back to something that you never knew nothing about. Because you're following a false God. You following a man or a woman that don't know the word in its totality. You following these old folks just because they've been doing it for years, but they've been lying to folks for years. They've been lying to the congregation. They've been lying to the children for years, and they still doing it today. All they did was come out of the synagogues of Satan and get on TikTok, get on Big O, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on all these platforms. All they did was come out of the church and start doing the same thing. And what the people do? Follow the blind, leading the blind. Preach, preacher, teach, teacher. You ain't learning nothing. You ain't learning from somebody that's going to save your soul or somebody that really love and care for you. You learning from somebody that's playing with you in your face. Verse 43. And from that day forward, Abram inclined the hearts of the sons of men to serve the Most High. From that day forward, Abram declined the hearts of men to serve the Most High, Adonai, Elohim, and to walk in his ways. And that's what we got to do. I know I'm yelling, but it's the passion, it's the zeal that the Most High has given me. I'm tired of people playing games with it. Yes, I'm in Jasher. Khan. I'm tired of people playing games with it, man. I can't wait till he finally shut these schools down that's teaching our children to follow the ways of the heathen. I can't wait till he shut the colleges down that's teaching them to follow the ways of the heathen. I can't wait till he shut these jobs down that everybody is going towards because you're following the ways of the heathen. They're not trying to let you live the right way. They want you to live their way. They want you to serve a whole nother God, a whole nother Yah, a whole nother Elohim that's not even of us. And at that time, Nahor and Abram took unto themselves wives, daughters of their brother Haran. The wife of Nahor was Milcah, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai. And Sarai, wife of Abram, was barren. She had no offspring in those days. And at the expiration of 2 years from Abram's going out of the fire, that is in the 52nd year of his life, behold, King Nimrod sat in Babel upon the throne, and the king fell asleep and dreamed that he was standing with his troops and hosts in the valley opposite the king's furnace, Abraham's bosom. You standing somewhere else. Some of y'all gonna be in Sheol where the weeping and the gnashing of the teeth, and some of y'all gonna be in Abraham's bosom. And he lifted up his eyes and saw a man in the likeness of Abram coming forth from the furnace, and that he came and stood before the king and with his drawn sword, and then sprang to the king with his sword when the king fled from the man, for he was afraid. While he was running, the man threw an egg upon the king's head, and the king became a great river. You can't escape. You can run, but you can't hide, even in your own dreams. You can run, but you can't hide. Somebody was trying to come up, but we ain't messing with that right now. And the king dreamed that all his troops sank in that river and unalive. And the king took flight with 3 men who were before him, and he escaped. Do y'all remember what happened in Exodus? I'm just bringing it back around town for y'all. But do y'all remember what happened in Exodus? How they ran into, they was running after the Israelites, after Yasharah, and then they tried to run away once that water was getting ready to come down. And he threw an egg, not in Exodus, but this is what it just said right here. He threw an egg and knocked them upside his head, and they fell. They couldn't escape. You can run, but you can't hide. And the king looked at these men, and they were clothed in princely dresses as the garments of kings, and had the appearance and majesty of kings. And while they were running, the river again turned to an egg before the king, and there came forth from the egg a young bird, which came before the king and flew at his head and plucked out the king's eye. Plucked out the king's eye. You telling me the Most High don't have some things in play for his children, for his people who gonna follow him, who will start following him? Look, if you ain't been following him before, if you ain't repented and changed your ways and gone the right way, today is the day on the new moon. And the ones who obey God's statutes and commands are those who will be with him. All praises. Hallelujah. All praises. But y'all telling me the Most High ain't got angels, ain't got some troops ready to go, on the go? All we got to do is turn away from it. Yes, today is the day, the new moon. Well, yesterday, the new moon. Shout out to my brother, We the People. And my brother, it's hard to say his name, but I'm just say my brother Mark. You see, we're gonna keep it going. Ignored. Verse 50. And the king was grieved at the sight, and he awoke out of his sleep, and his spirit was agitated, and he felt a great terror. Y'all know that all of this was happening in his sleep. He's sleeping, dreaming all of this. And he wake up and he afraid. It's like you wake up and you in a sweat. Like, oh my gosh, what did I just see? What did the Most High just reveal to me? Or what did God just say to me? What just happened? Did I just see my life flash before my eyes? Did I just see, what do they call that? Prophecy? And in the morning, the king rose from his couch in fear, and he ordered all the wise men and magicians to come before him when the king related his dream to them. What does this sound like? Do this not sound like Joseph all over again? If he did it before, he can do it again. Same Yah right now. Same Yah back then. Yahuwah. All praises. And a wise servant, verse 51, y'all. A wise servant of the king, whose name was Anuki, answered the king, saying, this is nothing else but the evil of Abram and his seed, which will spring up against my Lord and king in the latter days. And behold, the day will come when Abram and his seed and the children of his household will war with my king, and they will smite all the king's hosts and his troops. I'm going to tell you what your dream is about, man. This ain't nobody but about Abraham and the Most High's chosen children and everybody that's in his household. I'm letting you know right now that when Abram them get a hold of you, they coming and they gonna shut the king down. They gonna smite y'all. They gonna take everything back that's rightfully theirs. All praises. Thank y'all for the gifts. I appreciate you. Verse 54. And as to what thou hast said concerning 3 men, which thou didst see like unto thyself, and which did escape, this means that only thou will escape with 3 kings, and the kings of the earth who will be with thee in battle. Only you. And the 3 kings with you is going to be the only ones that escape. But what about that eye? We can't forget about that bird that was sent to pluck out that eye, to take that joint out. And at that which thou sawest a river, which turned to an egg as at first, the young bird plucking out thine eye. This means nothing else but the seed of Abraham, which will slay the king in the latter days. This just means that the king of Abraham is going to slay you in the latter days. Not right now, but later on. So just get prepared. It's going to go down. This is my king's dream, and this is the interpretation, and the dream is true, and the interpretation which your servant has given thee is right. Everything that I'm telling you right now is going to happen. I ain't lying to you, king. I'm letting you know. This is the interpretation of your dream, and this was about to go down on your side of town. Now, therefore, verse 57, my king, surely thou knowest that it is now 52 years since thy sages saw that this is at the birth of Abram. And if my king will suffer Abram to live in the earth, it will be to the injury of my Lord and king. For all the days that Abram lives, neither thou nor thy kingdom will be established. For this was known formerly at his birth. And why will not my king slay him, that his evil may be kept from thee in the latter days? Do y'all know that this was said first? I'm going to show y'all where it was said. I think I got it highlighted. Hold on. Let me go to that joint. Hold on. It was about Abram. Okay, it's in Jasher chapter 8. Y'all put a pin in Jasher chapter 12, and we was at Verse 57. Put a pin in that. Jump over real quick to Joshua chapter 8, and I'm going to start at verse 1. Check this out. And it was in the night that Abram was born that all the servants of Terah and all the wise men of Nimrod and the conjurers came and ate and drank in the house of Terah, and they rejoiced with him on the night. Why was they rejoicing with him, y'all? It was his born day. He was being born. Abram is being, a king is being born. Celebrate a king who is being born. This is a foreshadowing of what is to come. Recognize me, but I recognize him, and I made him remember, and his face lit up. It was beautiful. I didn't get to read everything that you wrote, but I'll get to it. Just give me 1 second. I'll let you come up and talk about it in a minute. So they celebrating. They coming up. And when all the wise men and conjurers went out from the house of Terah, they lifted up their eyes towards heaven that night to look at the stars. That's why they say, look up. Look at the heaven and the stars. It's going to let you know. It's going to give you a reminder. And when they looked up, they saw, and behold, one very large star came from the east and ran in the heavens, and he swallowed up 4 stars from 4 sides of the heavens. And all the wise men of the king and his conjurers were astonished at the sight. And the sages understood this matter, and they knew its import. They knew what it meant. Y'all want to know what it meant? Read verse 4. And they said to each other, this only betokens the child. This is only a reminder. This is only a gift to the child that has been born to Terah this night, who will grow up and be fruitful and multiply and possess all the earth, he and his children forever, and he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their lands. This is the interpretation what we just read in chapter 12, verse 57. There was a warning right then and there. This is why, what's his name? The king wanted to take out Abram at an early age, but Terah wasn't having it. He brought a baby, but it wasn't Abram. He brought one of the maidservice babies. And the king, like how he slew that baby, y'all, I know it's graphic, but he threw the baby to the concrete, crushed the baby head. Skull. Let me finish reading 57. I'll accept you real quick. We're going to finish up. Shalom, man. Shalom. What's up, jury? You know you up here? I don't think he knew it was up here. He probably didn't mean to. Tapping the screen. Anyway, and that's one of my brothers, y'all. Y'all ain't got to keep him. That's one of my brothers. I know him. And Nimrod hearkened to the voice of Unuki, and he sent some of his servants in secret to go and seize Abram and bring him before the king to suffer death. He's so shook up, y'all. Oh, you straight? He's so shook up that he's sending people on a sneaky tip to try and seize Abram so he can unalive him, because he's like, I can't have that. I can't lose my position. I can't lose my crown. I can't lose my place. And Eliezer said to Abram, hasten, rise up and save your soul, that thou mayest not unalive through the hands of the king. For thus did he see in a dream concerning thee, and thus did Anuki interpret it. And thus also did Anuki advise the king concerning you. Get out my live then, man. If this is blasphemy, bye. You can go. Nobody invite you here. Peace out. I don't need you over here. We teaching truth over here. Be gone, devil. Get thee behind me. I don't even want you in my comments no more. From now on, they getting blocked. Kick them out. I'm going to do it myself. Y'all just let me know who it is. And Abram hearkened to the voice. This is verse 61. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Eliezer. And Abram hastened and ran for safety to the house of Noah and his son Shem. And he concealed himself there and found a place of safety. And the king's servants came to Abram's house to seek him, but they could not find him. And they searched throughout the country, and he was not to be found. And they went and searched in every direction, and he was, and he was not to be met with. This is what they want to do. This is what they're going to try to do all over again. Prophecy. They're going to want to take you out. I have to take that off. You know, when you prophesy or you praying, head can't be covered. But they're going to want to try to take you out. They're going to want to try to unalive you. They're going to send people your way. This is why a lot of people, they get off this pathway. Like, no, man, it's too hard. I can't do this. I'm not trying to lose my life. I'm not trying to be no revolutionary. I'm not trying to be like Christ. You signed up for this. There's nothing that you can do. But the Most High is going to protect you. This is about Yah, but this is about Yah's chosen children. This is about who you serving. They don't want you to serve Yah. They don't want you to serve the Most High. They don't want you to serve Elohim. They don't want you to serve Yahuwah. They don't want you to acknowledge Yahushua HaMashiach. They want you to acknowledge Earth Pig. They want you to serve another God. And when the king's servants could not find Abram, they returned to the king. But the king's anger against Abram was stilled, as they did not find him. And the king drove from his mind this matter concerning Abram. And Abram was concealed in Noah's house for 1 month, until the king had forgotten this matter. But Abram was still afraid of the king. And Terah came to see Abram, his son, secretly in the house of Noah. And Terah was very great in the eyes of the king. Read the scriptures. I think it's 1 o'clock. Boy, time flies when you give in the word. All glory to the Most High. And Abram said to his father, dost thou not know that the king thinks to slay me and to annihilate my name from the earth by the advice of his wicked counselors? Now, whom hast thou here, and what hast thou in this land? What you doing here, and what you doing in this land? Arise, let us go together to the land of Canaan, that we may be delivered from his hand, lest thou perish also through him in the latter days. Dost thou not know, or hast thou not heard that that it is not through love that Nimrod gives thee all this honor, but it is only for his benefit that he bestows all this good upon thee. And if he do unto thee greater good than this, surely these are only vanities of the world. For wealth and riches cannot avail in the day of wrath and anger. Now therefore hearken to my voice, and let us arise and go to the land of Canaan, out of the reach of injury from Nimrod. And serve thou the Lord who created thee in the earth, and it will be well with thee. And cast away all the vain things which thou pursuest. And Abram ceased to speak, when Noah and his son Shem answered Terah, saying, true is the word which Abram hath said unto thee. And Terah hearkened to the voice of his son Abram, and Terah did all that Abram said, for this was from the Lord, that the king should not cause Abram's death. If he would have left with his pops, he wouldn't have never made it. But Noah and Shem gave Terah the word from the Most High, confirmation. This is true what he's telling you. He can't go with you. But when they said it, that's when he heard it. That's when he understood it. Because sometimes your own people don't listen to you. It'd be somebody else that confirms what you've been saying to them the whole time. I need a drink of water. Thank you for tapping the screen, sharing the live. Appreciate y'all. All praises to the Most High. Repost that joint. All glory and may he be vindicated. All glory. Chapter 13. Y'all ready? Let's get the taps up. Here we go. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot to the son of Haran, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, the wife of his son Abram, and all the souls of his household, and went with them from cast them to go to the land of Canaan. And when they came as far as the land of Haran, they remained there, for it was exceedingly good land for pasture, and of sufficient extent for those who accompanied them. Y'all see his pops had to go with him? He got the whole household. Y'all, we rocking with Abram. Abram running things now. Forget rocking with the king. I'm rocking with the true king, my son. And the people, verse 2, of the land of Haran saw that Abram was good and upright with the Most High and men, and that the Adonai, his Lord, his father, God, was with him. And some of the people of the land of Haran came and joined Abram, and he taught them the instruction of the Lord and his ways. And these men remained with Abram and his house, and they adhered to him. Abram was a teacher. He was a teacher preacher. He was educating folks on the real. He wasn't lying to them no more. That's what I'm doing. That's what you should be doing. That's what you learning from me right now. The truth. I'm not trying to act like I'm holier than thou, but you learning what we supposed to do from a teacher preacher, or as what's the name called? Prophet. But you learning. It's being spoken into existence. Take this into your house. Let your kids hear it. Let your wife hear it. And if the wives, let your husband hear it. Let your family hear it. You need to hear somebody give you this real, authentic word, raw. I call it a raw and uncut version of the word. No more sugarcoating stuff. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Because Oklahoma City, they can't stand me. My own people can't stand me. They can't stand when the word come out. No support out here at all. It's a bunch of doubt. It's a bunch of haters. No congratulators. No support. Nothing. Yeah, I know. I already knew where you was going with it. A prophet is not welcome in his hometown, even in his own home country, man. Humbleness. Gotta stay humble, man. I don't even want to exalt myself or put myself above nothing. That's the Most High's doing. Just like for any one of y'all. Forget trying to be the top dog. Forget trying to one up this person and one up that person, and I know more than you and I know more than him. He don't know what he talking about, or she don't know what he talking about. Man, humble yourself under the mighty hand of the Most High. Let me get back into this word. And Abram, verse 3 in chapter 13 of Jasher, and Abram remained in the land 3 years. And the expiration of 3 years, the Most High appeared to Abram and said to him, I am the Most High, Adonai, who brought thee forth from Casdim and delivered thee from the hands of all your enemies. And now, therefore, if thou wilt hearken to my voice and keep my commandments, my statutes, and my laws, my blessing upon all the works of your hands, and thou shalt lack nothing. What the Most High just tell him to do? First, he gave him a reminder. I'm the one who got you out of the hands of your enemies. I'm the one who removed you from this place over to this place. Now, I want you to follow my voice and keep my commandments and my statutes and my laws. Then will I cause your enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply your seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send my blessing upon all the works of your hands, and you shall lack nothing. I will multiply your seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send blessings and all your works upon you, and you will lack nothing. I'm going to put you in charge. I'm going to make you the head and not the tail. Arise now, take your wife and all belonging to thee, and go to the land of Canaan, and remain there, and I will there be unto thee for a God, a father, and I will bless you. And Abram arose and took his wife and all belonging to him, and he went to the land of Canaan as the Most High had told him. And Abram was 50 years old when he went from Haran. Verse 6, and Abram came to the land of Canaan and dwelt in the midst of the city, and he there pitched his tent among the children of Canaan, the inhabitants of the land. He got a whole new place, y'all. He got a whole new crib. Probably a bigger crib than what he was already living in. But he went to a whole new place. And the Most High appeared to Abram. And when he came to the land of Canaan, and said to him, this is the land which I gave unto thee, and to thy seed after thee forever. And I will make your seed like the stars of heaven, and I will give unto your seed for an inheritance all the land which thou seest. See, following the word of the Most High, following the voice of the Most High, that'll keep you out of trouble. That'll keep you away from your enemies. That'll keep you in safety. Following the laws, the statutes, and the commands, whatever he say, you better do, will upgrade you. Will upgrade you. I'm telling you the truth. I know it to be true. When we started following these laws, these statutes, these commands, when we started keeping the Sabbath day holy, when we started learning about the new moon as we just did, the Most High says, I'm about to bless you. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to one up you, but you probably need to sit and listen in, or go back to listening to the preacher that you listen to. Yeah, see, now you just got to go. Ain't no reason for you to be here. You just being a distraction. Be gone, Satan. Be gone. Blockity block block. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for the nonsense no more. I was peaceful before, and I just let it go on, but not no more. Hold on. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Hey, baby. Oh, I'm teaching on live teaching on Josh. Been having to block people and kick them up out of here. Huh? Right. But I'm gonna make sure that I say it live and for you to watch it tonight. Yeah. Let me get back to this. All right. All right, y'all. Hold on. Where the thing go? All right. Here we go. Verse 8. And Abram built an altar in the place where the Most High had spoken to him. And Abram there called upon the name of the Most High. And at that time, at the end of 3 years of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, in that year, Noah passed away, which was 58th year of the life of Abram, the 58th year of the life of Abram. And all the days that Noah lived were 950 years, and then he passed away. And this is why I got to get passed on. See, somebody has to unalive in order for the next one to be put in place. And Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, he, his wife, and all belonging to him, and all those that accompanied him, together with those that joined him from the people of the land. But Nahor, Abram's brother, and Terah, his father, and Lot, the son of Haran, and all belonging to them, dwelt in Haran. In the 5th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities of the plain revolted from the power of Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. For all the kings of the cities of the plain had served Chedorlaomer for 12 years and given him a yearly tax. But in those days, in the 13th year, they rebelled against him. Shalom, shalom. We're in the book of Jasher, chapter 13, and we at verse 12. I don't know if y'all got a book of Jasher, but if you don't got one, get one. And in the 10th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, there was war between Nimrod, king of Shinar, and Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. And Nimrod came to fight with Chedorlaomer and to subdue him. For Chedorlaomer was at the time one of the princes of the hosts of Nimrod. And when all the people at the tower were dispersed, and those that remained were also scattered upon the face of the earth. And Chedorlaomer went to the land of Elam and reigned over it and rebelled against his Lord, his king. And in those days, when Nimrod saw that the cities of the plain had rebelled, he came with pride and anger to go to war with Chedorlaomer. And Nimrod assembled all his princes and subjects, about 700,000, prepared for battle in the valley of Babel, which is between Elam and Shinar. It seemed like Nimrod always got a chip on his shoulder, man. Always want to fight somebody. Always want to try to dethrone somebody. Always want to try to make everybody serve him. Try to make everybody bow down to him. Don't that sound familiar to y'all? And all those kings fought there. And Nimrod and his people were smitten before the people of Chedorlaomer. And there fell from Nimrod's men about 600,000. And Mardon, the king's son, fell amongst them. And Nimrod fled and returned in shame and disgrace to his land, and he was under subjection to Chedorlaomer for a long time. And Chedorlaomer returned to his land and sent princes of hosts to the kings that dwelt around him, and Arioch, king of Elasar, and to Tidal, king of Goyim, and made a covenant with them, and they were all obedient to his commands. Oh, you're going to listen to somebody that just slayed the king. You're going to listen to somebody that just shut down some things. You ain't gonna have no choice. Come up against them if you want to. You have to get taken out too. Because if you're not for me, if you're not for the Most High, then you against me. And it was in the 15th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 17th year of the life of Abram. And the Lord appeared to Abram in that year, and he said to him, I'm not 17th, 70th, excuse me, y'all, 70th year, Salakia, 70th year of the life of Abram. And the Lord appeared to Abram in that year, and he said to him, I am the Most High, who brought thee out of Ur, Kasdim, to give thee this land for an inheritance. Now you finna get blessed with an inheritance, the land for inheritance again. Now therefore walk before me and be perfect and keep my commands. For to thee and to thy seed I will give this land for an inheritance, from the river Mitzrayim, or Egypt, unto the great river Euphrates. This is why it's so important to follow his laws, his statutes, and the commands. You will become perfect, as Denzel Washington said on Remember the Titans. This team will be perfect in every aspect. This family will be perfect in every aspect by following the laws, the statutes, and the commands of the Most High. But I need y'all to clip that. Bars. I'm going to read that one more time. Now, therefore, walk before me, verse 18, and be perfect, and keep my commands, for to thee and to thy seed I will give this land for an inheritance, from the river Mitzrayim unto the great river Euphrates. And thou shalt come to thy fathers in peace and in good age, and the fourth generation shall return here in this land, and shall inherit it forever. And Abram built an altar, and he called upon the name of the Most High, who appeared to him, and he brought up sacrifices upon the altar to the Most High. And at that time, verse 20, at that time, Abram returned and went to Haran to see his father and mother and his father's household. And Abram and his wife and all belonging to him returned to Haran. And Abram dwelt in Haran 5 years. And many of the people of Haran, about 72 men, followed Abram, and Abram taught them the instruction of the Lord and his ways, and he taught them to know the Lord. Y'all know who else did this? Enoch. He taught them the ways of the Most High. He taught them to follow the laws, the statutes, and the commands of the Most High. And guess what? Many people started following him too, learning from the teacher. All praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. Verse 22. In those days, the Most High appeared to Abram in Haran, and he said, Behold, I spoke unto thee these 20 years back, saying, Go forth from thy land, and from thy birthplace, and from thy father's house, and to the land which I have shown thee, to give it to thee and to thy children, for there in that land I will bless you, and make you a great nation, and make your name great, and in you shall the families of the earth be blessed. Now therefore, arise, go forth from this place, thou and thy wife, and all belonging to you. Also everyone born in your house, and all the souls thou hast made in Haran, and bring them out with thee from here, and rise to return to the land of Canaan. And Abram arose and took his wife Sarah, and all belonging to him, and all that were born to him in his house, and all the souls which they had made in Haran, and they came out to go to the land of Canaan. Do y'all see what I see? He ain't even had kids of his own yet. He ain't had a child of, children of his own yet. But he and his wife is taking on all these families, teaching them the ways of the Most High. Shalom, Abba Yah Lily. Verse 26. And Abram went and returned to the land of Canaan, according to the word of the Most High. And Lot the son of his brother Haran, who passed away in that fire that his daddy lied on him and had him thrown in because he didn't want to take accountability of his actions. Haran passed away. Of his brother, we talking about Lot, went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he went forth from Haran to return to the land of Canaan. And he came to the land of Canaan according to the word of the Most High to Abram. And he pitched his tent, and he dwelt in the plain of Mamre. And with him was Lot, his brother's son, and all belonging to him. He done upgraded him again. He done moved him from one place to another place, gave him a house there, then turned around, told him to move over here, then gave him another place to stay. Now, y'all know when he give him a place to stay, he don't give him no small place. He give him a place for him, his household, and everybody that's dwelling with him. And the Most High again appeared to Abram and said, to your seed I will give this land. And he there built an altar unto the Most High, who appeared to him, which is still to this day in the plains of Mamre. Shalom, baby. Hey, baby. We in chapter 14 of Jasher. I need something to drink. And I'm talking some water. Shoot. I am really grateful for what the Most High has been doing for me here lately. All praises. You can give testimony. All praises. Chapter 14, verse 1. In those days, there was in the land of Shinar a wise man who had an understanding in all wisdom and a beautiful appearance, but he was poor and indigent. His name was Rakayan, and he was hard set to support himself. And he resolved to go to Egypt, to Osiris, the son of Anam, king of Egypt, to show the king his wisdom, for perhaps he might find grace in his sight to raise him up and give him maintenance. And Rakayan did so. He wanted to be lifted up. He wanted some praise. He was like, man, I know I got me some gifts. Let me head over here into Egypt and holler at the king and see if he gonna put me in the position, a good position. And when Rakayan came to Egypt, he asked the inhabitants of Egypt concerning the king. And the inhabitants of Egypt told him the custom of the king of Egypt. For it was then the custom of the king of Egypt that he went from his royal palace and was seen abroad only one day in the year. And after that, the king would return to his his palace to remain there. And on the day when the king went forth, he passed judgment in the land, and everyone having a suit came before the king that day to obtain his requests. And Rakayan heard of the custom in Egypt, and that he could not come into the presence of the king. He grieved greatly and was very sorrowful. And in the evening, Rakayan went out and found a house in ruins, formerly in Bake, a house in Egypt. And he abode there all night in bitterness of soul and pinched with hunger, and sleep was removed from his eyes. He found a place to stay. He became a squatter. He made him something to eat. And Rekayon considered within himself what he should do in the town until the king made his appearance and show and how he might maintain himself there. And he rose in the morning and walked about and met in his way those who sold vegetables and various sorts of seed with which they supplied the inhabitants. And Rekayon wished to do the same in order to get a maintenance in the city, but he was unacquainted with the custom of the people, and he was like a blind man among them. He was like a blind man among them. Y'all know how they treat blind men. They don't treat them right. Oh, let me finish up. Where was I at? I lost my spot. Oh, verse 10. And he went and obtained vegetables to sell them for his report. And the rabble assembled about him and ridiculed him and took his vegetables from him, and they left him nothing. What they do to him? They treated him like a blind man. They just went and snatched up everything from him. They took everything from him. Ain't that how they did Ray Charles in the movie? He had money, but they knew he was blind and he couldn't see, so they would give him a small portion and make him think that he was getting his right amount of money. Treat him like a blind man. Steal from him. Take from him. Rob him blind. Stretch a lie, find a thief. All right. Verse 11. And he rose up from there in bitterness of soul and went sighing to bake house in which he had remained all night before, and he slept there the second night. And on that night again, he reasoned with himself how he could save himself from starvation, and he devised a scheme how to act. Y'all know this man could cook. He could throw down. He was trying to take his stuff to the king. They coming and robbing him of all the blessings that he want to bless to the king. I'm trying to show you what I can do. No, I want to steal from you. Let me tell y'all something. They trying to take from me. They trying to take my platform. They trying to do what I have been gifted to do. They treated me like I'm a blind man. They want to take your gifts and oh, well, I could do it better than him. And I'm not puffing myself up at all. What I do, I go to sleep. Father, what you want me to do? What can I do? Because, hey, I know one of these days I'm not going to be lifted up by the king. I'm going to get lifted up by the Most High. You can't stop the Most High. Let me finish this up, y'all. That's testimony. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Y'all tap that screen, share this live. Y'all learning some things. And he rose up from there in bitterness of soul and went sighing to bake house in which he had remained all the night before, and he slept there the second night. And on the night again, he reasoned with himself how he could save himself from starvation, and he devised a scheme how to act. And he rose up in the morning and acted ingeniously, and went and hired 30 strong men of the rabble, carrying their war instruments in their hand. And he led them to the top of the Egyptian sepulchre, and he placed them there, and he commanded them, saying, Thus says the king, strengthen yourselves and be valiant men, and let no man be buried here until 200 pieces of silver be given, and then he may be buried. And those men did according to the order of Rekayon to the people of Egypt the whole of that year. He went and got I got an army. Y'all know KB from the 116 click. I got an army. Tell me who gonna war with me? And he commanded them, saying, verse 15, and in 8 months' time, Rekayon and his men gathered great riches of silver and gold, and Rekayon took great quantity of horses and other animals, and he hired more men, and he gave them horses, and they remained with him. He made himself into a king. Y'all remember they said he thought about like, man, what can I do to stop these people from trying to take over me, from trying to take my mantle, my platform from me? Then he hired folks to slay these people that was trying to shut him down. And when the year came round, at that time, this is verse 16, the king went forth into the town, and all the inhabitants of Egypt assembled together to speak to him concerning the work of Rechaim and his men. And the king went forth on the appointed day, and all the Egyptians came before him, and they cried unto him, saying, may the king live forever. What is this thing that thou doest in the town of thy servants? Not to suffer an unalive body to be buried until so much silver and gold be given? Was there ever the like unto this done in the whole earth? From the days of former kings, yea, even from the days of Adam unto this day, that the unalive should not be buried only for a set price? They asking questions like, man, did you issue this order? We ain't never heard nothing like this before. We ain't never heard that you wanted to unalive us and we got to give our silver, our gold, just so we could survive? What order did you give? And we know it to be a custom of kings to take a yearly tax from the living. But thou dost not only do this, but from the unalive also thou exactest a tax by day? You even taking taxes from the unalive? Now, O king, we can no more bear this, for the whole city is ruined on this account. And dost thou not know it? We can't bear this no more, man. You hitting us all over the head. We ain't got nothing no more. We can't give no more. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't pay no taxes. And when the king heard all that they had spoken, he was very wroth, and his anger burned within him at this affair, for he had not known nothing of it. He's like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Somebody else is getting what's rightfully mine. Somebody else is taking what's rightfully mine. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I'm mad as HE double hockey sticks right now. And the king said, who and where is he that dares to do this wicked thing in my land without my command? Surely you will tell me, hey, point me in the direction that this man that's doing this thing, that's issuing these orders, that's bringing down y'all, that's getting all this gold and this silver, that's taking tax from y'all, point me in his direction. And they told him all the works of Rechaim and his men. And the king's anger was aroused, and he ordered Rechaim and his men to be brought before him. And Rechaim took about 1,000 children, sons and daughters, and clothed them in silk and embroidery. And he set them upon horses and sent them to the king by means of men. And he also took a great quantity of silver and gold and precious stones and a strong and beautiful horse as a present for the king, with which he came before the king and bowed down to the earth before him. And the king and his servants and all the inhabitants of Egypt wondered at the work of Rechaim, and they saw his riches and the present that he had brought to the king. What happened, y'all? He was strategic in how he should present himself to the king. I'm going to give you the gifts. I'm going to give you the horse, the beautiful horse. I'm bringing people with me. I got my people with me. We coming in bunches. And it greatly pleased the king, and he wondered at it. And when Rechaim sat before him, the king asked him concerning all his works. And Rechaim spoke all his works wisely before the king, his servants, and all the inhabitants of Egypt. And when the king heard the words of Rechaim and his wisdom, Rechaim found grace in his sight. And he met with grace and kindness from all the servants of the king and from all the inhabitants of Egypt on account of his wisdom and excellent speeches. And from that time, they loved him exceedingly. I bet you they won't rob you no more. I bet you they won't try to take from you no more. I done just got upgraded. I need a drink, man. My throat hurt. Shoot. All praises to the Most High Yah. And the king answered and said to Rechaim, thy name shall no more be called Rechaim, but Pharaoh. Ooh, this is how you got Pharaoh. And Pharaoh shall be your name, since thou didst exact the tax from the unalive. And he called his name Pharaoh. Ooh-wee. He wanted to be in position of a king. He wanted to get it from man. We want to get ours from the Most High. We want to be upgraded by the Most High. We do not want to be upgraded by some other nation of people. We do not want to be lifted up. We do not want to be idolized. See, this tells me that Rechaim wanted to be idolized. Egypt, America, KKK, wants to be idolized, wants to be worshipped, wants to be praised. And the king and his subjects loved Rechaim for his wisdom, and they consulted with all the inhabitants of Egypt to make him perfect under the king. And all the inhabitants of Egypt and its wise men did so. So it was made a law in Egypt. It was made a law in Egypt just because of what this man had did. And they made Rechaim, Pharaoh, perfect under Osiris, king of Egypt. And Rechaim, Pharaoh, governed over Egypt daily, administering justice to the whole city. But Osiris, the king, would judge the people of the land one day in the year, when he went out to make his appearance. This is why he had to be the Pharaoh, because Osiris, the king, he would leave for a whole year, be gone. He'd only make his appearance one day. So he had to have somebody that was going to be in play, that was still going to make sure that, hey, I'm still getting my just due. I got somebody over here in position to run everything. That's going to collect the taxes. That's going to be putting y'all to work. That's going to make sure that y'all serving me. That's going to make sure that y'all obeying my laws, my statutes, my commands, that y'all are acknowledging Pharaoh, King Tut, Egypt, all that bullcrap, Statue of Liberty. Y'all better pray for me. Woo! I tell you, I don't know what I'm going to say. It just get downloaded into my spirit. Straight from the king's dome. Straight from the king's dome. From his kingdom to my dome. Shalom, all praises to the Most High Yah. And Rechaim, Pharaoh, cunningly usurped the government of Egypt, and he exacted a tax from all the inhabitants of Egypt. They are cunningly exacting a tax from all the people that's living in Babylon, Egypt. They sneakily doing it. They got us paying taxes. They taking stuff out of your check. This is why you struggling like the way that you are today. Because you don't work for the Most High. You work for Egypt. You work for Babylon. You work for their God. And all the inhabitants of Egypt greatly loved Rechaim, Pharaoh. And they made a decree to call every king that should reign over them and their seed in Egypt Pharaoh. This is why everybody that reigns over us, they ain't called Pharaoh no more. They called president. They ain't called kings no more. They called presidents. Therefore, all kings that reigned in Egypt from the time forward were called Pharaoh unto this day. That's why y'all don't know that America is Egypt, because they changed the names. They changed it from Egypt to America. They changed it from Pharaoh to president of America, of Egypt. It's still the same thing that they did back then. Now you got people wanting to go back into Egypt all over again. You got people telling you, let's go back and do what our ancestors used to do. That's chapter 14. Shall I move on to 15? It's about to be 2 o'clock. I ain't worried about the time. Y'all just make sure y'all tapping that screen, sharing the live. Just tap the screen, share the live, repost that joint. I appreciate y'all. I saw somebody gift. I appreciate y'all. All praises. I really do. All praise to the Most High. And in that year, there was a heavy famine throughout the land of Canaan, and the inhabitants of the land could not remain on account of the famine, for it was very grievous. And Abram and all belonging to him rose and went down to Egypt on account of the famine. When they were at the brook of Mizraim, they remained there some time to rest from the fatigue of the road. May I ask how you feel about the firstborn sons from the prince of Egypt? How do I feel about them? What you talking about? Like the ones that got unalived during the plague? Or you talking about the ones that it happened to in the first place? Because the ones that happened to in the first place, I'm mad about that. But the ones that happened to when it came to plague, oh, I'm excited for that, because you don't get to do to the Most High's children that type of behavior and expect not to get it back done on you. If that answers your question. And Abram and Sarai were walking at the border of the brook Mizraim. And Abram beheld his wife Sarai, that was very beautiful, very beautiful. And Abram said to his wife Sarai, since the Most High has created thee with such a beautiful countenance, I am afraid of the Egyptians, lest they should slay me and take thee away. For the fear of the Most High is not in these places. The fear of the Most High is not in Babylon. The fear of the Most High is not in America. It's not in these places. It never was. Or I'm sorry, Egypt, Babylon. Y'all feel me? Surely then thou shalt do this. Say thou art my sister to all that may ask thee, in order that I may be well, in order that it may be well with me, and that we may live and not be put to unalivement. Say you my sister. You not my wife. They don't fear the Most High over here. So we don't get unalive. They don't like kingdom marriage over here. They don't like us doing the right thing over here. Say you my sister. Don't let them know that you my wife. Don't y'all know they really don't like kingdom-minded, the Most High's marriage, covenant marriages over here? That's why divorce is so prevalent over here. That's why sleeping with somebody else's husband or somebody else's wife is easy over here. That's why being a sneaky link is glorified over here. Because they don't fear the Most High over here. They serve another God over here. And Abram commanded the same to all those that came with him to Egypt on account of the famine. Also his nephew Lot he commanded, saying, if the Egyptians ask thee concerning Sarai, say she is the sister of Abraham. He let everybody know, that's my sister. Hey, nephew, if they ask you, that's my sister. That is not my wife. That, like how we go to the movie, sometimes y'all, we lie. Hey, don't let them know that you 18. Tell them you're 15. Tell them you're 13. Tell them you're 10. You look like you 10. Because we trying to get in. We know they're going to make you pay a hefty price. All praises. Say it, teacher, preacher. All praises. That's what she called me, teacher, preacher. Oh, man, that put a smile on my face. That's my baby, y'all. And yet, verse 7, and yet, with all these orders, Abram did not put confidence in them, but he took Sarai and placed her in a chest and concealed it amongst their vessels, for Abram was greatly concerned about Sarai on account of the wickedness of the Egyptians. He put her in a chest and concealed her. Precious gift. Baby, I got to hide you. I got to protect you. I got to protect us. I got to protect what's rightfully mine, but what's the Most High's. But did y'all see? Sarai didn't come up against him. She listened and obeyed him. Lot listened and obeyed. Man, come on, y'all. You following somebody that know the word. You following somebody that got a relationship with the Most High. You following somebody that if you come up against me, I got to let your tail go and you ain't going to be blessed no more. Bars. And Abram, verse 8, and all belonging to him rose up from the brook of Mizraim and came to Egypt, and they had scarcely entered the gates of the city when the guard stood up to them, saying, Give tithe to the king from what you have, and then you may come into the town. And Abram and those that were with him did so. And Abram with the people that were with him came to Egypt. And when they came, they brought the chest in which Sarai was concealed, and the Egyptians saw the chest. It must have been something glorious to look upon. Let me take a drink. Boy, I'm messing around, lose my voice. No, I ain't. The devil is a lie. The Most High gonna give me the voice. Them cats back there, boy, they listening. I ain't heard them purr not one time. or whine. They either asleep or they just listening. Them cats probably like, he crazy. And the king's servants approached Abram. This is verse 10, y'all. The king's servants approached Abram, saying, What hast thou here in the chest, which we have not seen? Now open thou the chest, and give tithe to the king of all that it contains. Give me a tithe of whatever is in that chest. And Abram said, This chest I will not open, but all you demand upon it I will give. And Pharaoh's officers answered Abram, saying, It is a chest of precious stones. Give us the tenth thereof. Ooh, it's a nice chest. It's got a lot of gold into it. Give it to us. For she is more precious than rubies and gold. Give us the chest. We want to be rich. I want to be rich. Y'all know how they be doing. And Abram said, All that you desire, I will give, but you must not open the chest. And the king's officers pressed Abram, and they reached the chest and opened it with force. And they saw, and behold, a beautiful woman in the chest. Isn't there scripture to back that up about the beautiful woman? About your wife? About he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord, of the Most High? She is more precious than what? Rubies of gold. He told them not to open the chest, but they opened the chest anyway. They pressed them because they wanted the gold. They wanted the silver. They wanted all that was in there. Watch this. And when the officers of the king beheld Sarai, they were struck with admiration at her beauty, because she was fine as wine. And all the princes and the servants of Pharaoh assembled to see Sarai, for she was very beautiful. And the king's officers ran and told Pharaoh all that they had seen, and they praised Sarai to the king, and Pharaoh ordered her to be brought. And the woman came before the king. Oh, the Most High is very strategic. You don't touch nobody else's wife. Remember, Abram said that over in this place, they do not fear the Most High. The Most High ain't even in this place. And Pharaoh beheld. This is verse 15, y'all. And Pharaoh beheld Sarai, and she pleased him exceedingly. And he was struck with her beauty, and the king rejoiced greatly on her account, and made presents to those who brought him the tidings concerning her. And the woman was then brought to Pharaoh's house. And Abram grieved on account of his wife, and he prayed to the Most High to deliver her from the hands of Pharaoh. Why was he praying? Because he didn't want his wife to sleep with that man. Shalom. You have one as well. Have a peaceful day. Shalom. Here we go. And Sarai also prayed at that time and said, see, kindred spirits. Sarai was praying and Abram was praying at the same time. They was entwined. They was ordained to be together. Even though they were sister and brother, but they was ordained to be together. And Sarai also prayed at that time and said, O Most High, Adonai, thou didst tell my husband, Abram, as they say Lord here, but my husband, Abram, to go from this land and from his father's house to the land of Canaan. And thou didst promise to do well with him if he would perform your commands. And now, behold, we have done that which thou didst command us, and we left our land and our families, and we went to a strange land and to a people whom we have not known before. Prayer partners, teammates, teamwork, make the dream work. All praise to the Most High. Bars. But did you see what Sarai just did? She just gave the Most High everything that he told Abram and her. Look, didn't you say this? Didn't you say that you would take us to a place that you would keep us safe? Didn't you ask him to follow your laws, your statutes, and your commands? And now behold, we have done which thou commanded us, which you did command us, and we left our land. We left the place that you told us to leave, and our families we took with us too. And we went to a strange land and to a people whom we have not known before. And we came to this land to avoid the famine that was coming upon our land. And this evil accident has befallen me. Now, therefore, O Adonai, the Most High, deliver us and save us from the hand of this oppressor, and do well with me for your sake, for the sake of your mercy. And the Most High hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Why did the Most High hear the voice of Sarai? Somebody help me out. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Why did he hearken to the voice of Sarai? Put it in the comments. There's two answers I'm looking for. Two answers. Put it in the comments below for those 13 people that's here. Shalom. Y'all tap the screen, share the live. Keep on reposting this joint. Let's get on the For You page. Let's wake up Yasharal to the truth. But I'll tell you, it was because these are his children. These are the Most High's children who are following his laws, his statutes, and his commands. And he will listen to those that follow the rules that he has given them. His children. That's why he hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Yes, she was righteous. What was that? All right, here we go. And this is what the Most High says. And the Most High hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And the Most High sent an angel to deliver Sarai from the power of Pharaoh. See, when you go to the Most High, when you go to your father, when you go to Adonai, when you go to Elohim and you ask Elohim to do something for your family, for your wife, for your husband, for your children, for his children, he will send an angel in play to deliver them. Watch this. Verse 20. And the king came and sat before Sarai. And behold, an angel of the Most High was standing over them. And he appeared to Sarai and said to her, do not fear, for the Most High has heard your prayer. Don't fear me. I know you might be scared of me because I'm tall. Look, y'all gonna make me stand up, man. I done sat down too long. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I got to stand up. Where my rod at?
Charging.
Yes, charging. We hear you. Charging. Hold on. Look, baby's at work. Baby
Charging.
at work. Kids at school. Y'all finna get the real deal. Y'all finna get a whole Sabbath day teacher. I feel it in the spirit. Y'all don't mind me, man. I'm crazy. I am crazy. Where is it? Anyway. This ain't the one. All right. Where I'm at? 22. Yeah. The Most High, he said, do not fear. This is what the angel said. Do not fear, Sarai. The Most High has heard your prayer. And the king approached Sarai and said to her, what is that man to thee who brought thee hither? And she said, he is my brother. And the king said, it is incumbent upon us to make him great, to elevate him, to do unto him all that, to do unto him all the good which thou shalt command us. And at that time the king sent to Abram silver and gold and precious stones in abundance, together with cattle, men servants, and maid servants. And the king ordered Abram to be brought, and he sat in the court of the king's house. And the king greatly exalted Abram on that night. Do y'all remember in the chapter way back? Let me go back. And I think it was chapter 8. Where they told them that Abram would slay 4 kings, that he would overthrow them. One page drop. Overthrow, I'm going to read it to you. This is in Jasher chapter 8. And they said to each other, this betokens the child that has been born to Terah this night, who will grow up and be fruitful and multiply and possess all the earth. He and his children forever, and he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their lands. But I'm going to go back up to verse 2. That was verse 4. I'm going to read verse 2. And when all the wise men and conjurers went forth from the house of Terah, they lifted up their eyes towards heaven that night to look at the stars, and they saw, and behold, one very large star came from the east and ran in the heavens, and he swallowed up 4 stars from 4 sides of heavens. So 4 stars will be 4 kings. But one big old star is Abraham. That star is Abraham. Hey, what is in heaven will come to earth. He showed it to him. He showed him that big old star. So is it as above, so shall it be on earth. That's why they looked up and they saw a big old star, and then they saw it take on or take out 4 stars. And it happened in the earth. That big star is Abram, and Abram is taking out all the kings one by one, getting blessed. Each time he go to a king, he get blessed. Yes, thy will be done. Shalom, all praises, hallelujah. Let me get back over it. We back in chapter 15. And the king said, it is incumbent to us to make him great, to elevate him, to do unto him all the good which thou shalt command us. Who will command us? Sarai, thou shalt command us. And at that time the king sent to Abram silver and gold and precious stones in the abundance, together with cattle, men servants, maid servants. And the king ordered Abram to be brought, and he sat in the court of the king's house. And the king greatly exalted Abram on that night. And the king approached to speak to Sarai, and he reached out his hand to touch her. When the angel smote him heavily, he was terrified, and he refrained from reaching to her. Sarai is the one that made sure that Abram got blessed. But when he reached out to touch her, the angel said, not today, Satan. We ain't doing that. You ain't finna bewitch my child, the Most High's child, excuse me. And when the king came near to Sarai, the angel smote him to the ground and acted thus to him the whole night. And the king was terrified. What did the angel do? The angels, look, let me take that joint off real quick so I don't slap my ring and it go across this flow. But he smacked that man like, hey, you is not her husband. And then when he tried to come up to her, he said he knocked him down. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. You ain't touching nothing. That's how the Most High have his angels. He letting them know, you ain't finna come up against my people. Like they not finna fall into these traps. You ain't sleeping with nobody else's wife, especially not Abram's wife. I wish a nigga would. And when the king came near to Sarai, the angel smote him to the ground, knocked him to the ground, y'all, and acted thus to him the whole night. And the king was terrified. He had that king scared for real, for real. I wish you would. All night, he had that man scared. And the angel on that night smote heavily all the servants of the king and his whole household on account of Sarai. And there was a great lamentation that night amongst the people of Pharaoh's house. And Pharaoh, seeing the evil that befell him, said, surely on account of this, whom has this thing happened to me? Or excuse me, on account of this, let me finish that again. On account of, where did I go? Y'all, hold on, let me go back. Shoot. Whole book just, surely on account of this woman has this thing happened to me. And he removed himself at some distance from her and spoke pleasing words to her. Look, it's because of this woman that this didn't happen to me. That it came down on my house. Wasn't nothing happening to me until this woman stepped foot in my house, in the king's palace. It's her. What happened? And the king said to Sarai, tell me, I pray thee, concerning the man with whom thou camest here. And Sarai said, this man is my husband. And I said to thee that he was my brother, for I was afraid lest thou shouldest put him to unalivement through wickedness. And the king kept away from Sarai, and the plagues of the angel of the Lord ceased from him and his household. And Pharaoh knew that he was smitten on account of Sarai, and the king was greatly astonished at this. Hold on, let me mark that real quick. The king knew why his household was falling, why these plagues was hitting him left and right. It was because this is not your brother, this is not your sister, this is your wife. See, when you sleep with somebody's wife, when you do something with somebody's husband, there's a plague that's supposed to be hitting you, but it can't hit you because everybody out here is doing the same thing. They ain't serving the Most High. But when you start serving the Most High, let somebody try to sleep with your wife. Most High ain't playing about that. Let somebody try to sleep with your husband. The Most High ain't playing about that. See, over here in this foreign land, they be playing games. They be doing wrong. They have the people doing wrong, thinking that we serving God. We go up there, we get married. We supposed to be getting married unto God. What God? What Elohim? What Yah is this? They ain't trying to hear it. They ain't trying to hear no real word. They want to go and listen to people. Oh, you got to be delicate. You can't talk that way. Don't talk about my people that, man. Please. The Most High don't play. Let me get to 29. But that's what they're going to teach you. That's why everybody out here is doing the same things. Sneaky linking, running up with somebody's man. That's the thing to do. They glorifying it because they serving another God. They serving a false God. And they think they serving Yah, but they serving the Yah for them. The devil in disguise. You ain't serving Yah. You ain't serving Elohim. You not following his laws, his statutes, and his commands. But when them plagues start going down, when stuff start happening on your side of town, remember, you was warned. Verse 29 in chapter 15. And in the morning, the king called for Abram and said to him, what is this that thou hast done to me? Why didst thou say, she is my sister, cowering to which I took her unto me for a wife? And this heavy plague has therefore come upon me and my household. Man, why did you trick me? Why did you just tell me this was your wife? You done brought a whole plague on my house. Let this be an example to y'all. Let this be an example to all of us. Now, therefore, here is your wife. Look, man, take her back. Here is your wife. Take her and go from our land, lest we unalive on her account. See, when somebody mess with yours, when somebody try to come up against yours, guess what, y'all? They supposed to get unalived on the account of who they messing with. But the Most High can't do it because ain't nobody trying to follow it. Why didst thou say, she is my sister, owing to the which, Now, therefore, here is your wife. Take her and go from our land. Verse 30, y'all. Lest we all be unalive on the account. And Pharaoh took more cattle, men servants, and maid servants, and silver and gold to give to Abram, and he returned unto his wife, Sarai. Not only did Abram get blessed the first time, but as they was leaving, Pharaoh gave them more cattle, gave them more silver, more gold, gave them maid servants, male servants. He gave them all of that. Get up out of here, man. I ain't trying to have no plague on my house. Move around, take your wife and get gone. And the king took a maiden whom he begat by his concubines, and he gave her to Sarai for a handmaid. And the king said to his daughter, it is better for thee, my daughter, to be would be a handmaid in this man's house than to be a mistress in my house after we beheld the evil that befell us on account of this woman. He said it's better for what? It's better for you to be a maidservant in this man's house than to be a mistress in my house. Because what befell on us? The evil that befell on them came on his house because of this woman. I would rather you go be with them over there and be a maidservant than be in my house and be somebody's mistress, somebody's plaything. And Abram arose, and he and all belonging to him went away from Egypt, and Pharaoh ordered some of his men to accompany him and all that went with him. And Abram returned to the land of Canaan to the place where he had made the altar, where he had at first had pitched his tent. Back to his crib, y'all. He done upgraded for real. And Lot, the son of Haran, Abram's brother, had a heavy stock of cattle, flocks, and herds, and tents, for the Most High was bountiful to them on account of Abram. And when Abram was dwelling in the land of herdsmen of Lot, quarreled with the herdsmen of Abram, for their property was too great for them to remain together in the land, and the land could not bear them on account of their cattle. They had way too much. They couldn't even stay there. It was like, look, you got to go over here, man. We got way too much cattle. I done gave you some stuff, but look, it's everywhere. You got to go somewhere else and let me stay over here. And when Abram, verse 37, and when Abram's herdsmen went to feed their flock, they would not go into the fields of the people of the land, but the cattle of Lot's herdsmen did otherwise, for they were suffered to feed in the fields of the people of the land. And the people of the land saw this occurrence daily, and they came to Abram and quarreled with him on account of Lot's herdsmen. Man, hey, look, they eating up everything. They everywhere. They got to go, man. It ain't yours. It's Lot's. Lot's is the ones that just run around here like they got a chicken with a head cut off, just eating up everything. And Abram said to Lot, what is this thou art doing to me, to make me despicable to the inhabitants of the land, that thou orderest thy herdsmen to feed thy cattle in the fields of other people? Man, they eating other people's stuff. Dost thou not know I am a stranger in this land amongst the children of Canaan? And why wilt thou do this unto me? This is why you got to go. You got to move around. You trying to make me look like I ain't real. You trying to make me look like I don't follow the Most High. We over here in some strangers' land. We over here in other people's cities or states. And you over here trying to ruin it for us? And Abram, verse 40, quarreled daily with Lot on account of this. But Lot would not listen to Abram, and he continued to do the same. And the inhabitants of the land came and told Abram. And Abram said unto Lot, how long wilt thou be to me a stumbling block with the inhabitants of the land? Now I beseech thee, let there be no more quarreling between us, for we are kinsmen. But I pray thee, separate from me. Go and choose a place where thou mayest dwell, and thy cattle and all belonging to thee, but keep yourself at a distance from me, thou and thy household. Get thee from me. We kinsmen, we cool and everything, but make sure that you don't come nowhere near me. Man, you ruining my name. You trying to ruin my name. You trying to bring shame to my name. Look, take everything with you. You got all that, but just make sure you don't even come nowhere near me. Stay far away from me. I want you out my sight. And be not afraid in going from me. Don't be afraid from leaving from me. For if anyone do injury to you, let me know, and I will avenge thy cause from him. Only remove from me. And when Abram had spoken all these words to Lot, then Lot arose and lifted up his eyes toward the plain of Jordan. He still had love for his nephew. He let him know, don't be afraid, man. If anybody come up against you or injure you, look, just make one phone call and the rest gonna get handled. I got you. But remove yourself from me. But if you ever in trouble, give me a call. Give me a ring. Verse 44. And when Abram had spoken all these words to Lot, then Lot arose and lifted up his eyes toward the plain of Jordan. And he saw that the whole of this place was well watered and good for man, as well as affording pasture for the cattle. And Lot went from Abram to that place, and he there pitched his tent, and he dwelt in Sodom, and they were separated from each other. And Abram dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and he pitched his tent there, and Abram remained in that place many years. Woo. Chapter 16 is coming up next, but I gotta take a break. I gotta sit down. Hey, I'm enjoying y'all. I appreciate y'all, but I really do. I gotta sit down. I'm a little dizzy. Shalom, kings and queens, brothers and sisters. That means peace be unto you. I love y'all. Blessings to y'all. Knowledge.